Today is Sunday, my first week here. We're coming up on the Visitor Center and bookstore, also the Yukon Delta National Wildlife Refuge. There's a whole bunch of, it's sort of like a museum. There's a whole bunch of animals on display, so hopefully I'll get to see some cool animals and I'll show you what it looks like. I just arrived at the library, so this is what it looks like. It's a cultural center / library. And out there is the highway that I just walked from. So we can go inside and take a look at what it looks like. This is the river right here that I'm coming down to. Hi, I found my way to the river. I think this is the Kuskokwim River, and it leads out to the Bering Sea. So I found a little rock, sit and just look out at the river. As you can see, there are cars on it. There was someone biking on the river earlier. It's definitely quiet, really peaceful. The sun's actually out, so I'm trying to soak up some vitamin D. Plus, it's not a bad view. I was walking along the river earlier until I saw that the ice was cracking in the middle of it. I got kind of nervous and turned around. So I came down from the river from up there on 1st Avenue, kept walking all the way down there, found the stairs and decided to walk down. One of the people who live here recommended that I, take a walk along the river, see the cultural center and the museum. Unfortunately, I forgot that this is a small town, and much like back home, everything closes on Sunday. So yeah. Huh?
It's quite an event. How come they start so late?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, they're supposed to be back Sunday morning, they said. Sunday morning.
I don't know.
I said something about a 4-hour mandatory rest, but I didn't hear when or where that was.
Bogus Creek, which is why Child's working at midnight.
I've really enjoyed week 2 in Bethel. I got to see a lot of things this week, and rotations has definitely picked up. I did a presentation on Copaxone, which is a drug for multiple sclerosis. I did a patient case presentation on a patient with breast cancer, and then I got to counsel a lot this week. I also got to shadow a lot of providers. I shadowed a PA in one of the clinics and saw a whole bunch of patients. I got to do exams on them as well. I shadowed an optometrist in the eye clinic and got to see how the eye exams actually work from a provider standpoint instead of a patient standpoint when I go for my yearly exam. And then I also sign up for the Medivac team. And the Medivac team is a team of 3 people, the pilot and 2 paramedics who go into these distinct villages to help patients with emergencies and bring them back to the hospital. So I got to fly out to Kotlik, which is northwest of Bethel, and it's close to Nome, which is near the Arctic Circle. We passed the Yukon River on the way, so you can see pictures of that. And when we got to the village, the mode of transportation into the clinic was by snowmobile and a little rickshaw wagon and a sled. So I was on the back of a snowmobile on the way into the clinic, and on the way back out, I sat in the rickshaw, which seats about 2 to 3 people. 3 people we all squished together, and a snowmobile pulls that. So that was really interesting, seeing telemedicine, seeing the health aides in the clinic, taking EKGs and then sending those images back to the hospital. We flew the patient back, and it was an hour ride, so it was a fairly long time. It's the farthest north region that they serve. And then this past weekend was K300 weekend, which was really cool. K300 is a huge race here. It's the second longest race right after the Iditarod, and it pays really well. The winner gets $20,000. So a lot of the Iditarod mushers come to the K300 since it's an easy win for them. And K300 weekend consists of 3 races: the Bogus, the Akiak Dash, and then the K300, and K300 is the big one. I volunteered at their headquarters, which is at Longhouse Hotel, from midnight to 4 on Friday night. And it was really interesting meeting some of the people there, because the people who volunteer work at the hospital or, are from the community. And after one of the pharmacists at my rotation, Katie, she picked me up right after I got back from the Medivac and took me to the K300. And we watched the start of the race, and I got to see a whole bunch of the dogs, and then right afterwards they do a fireworks show. So it was really nice. Bethel only does fireworks 2 times a year, New Year's and the K300, so I'm really glad I got to see that. And the K300s all of this takes place on the river, which is frozen over. So all these cars were parked on the river, and the K300 rides along the river to all these places, and then they circle back. The last of the K300 musher should be back on Monday morning. So then after the K300, Katie took me out to dinner at Shogun, which is sushi, Chinese, Mexican, Japanese, American, all-inclusive restaurant. So it was really fun. She's really nice. I actually just got back from dinner at her place. She said, if I wanted to do laundry at her place, I could. So I went over there to do laundry. She invited two of the paramedics, the life med guys that she's really close with, over for dinner as well. And she made salmon chowder with salmon that her and her boyfriend caught last summer, and she canned by herself. We also had homemade pizza, which was really good. I'm really enjoying my time here, and I'm getting to know the people better. So that makes it more worthwhile. It's not as quiet and lonely. My roommate who was here had already left, so we were only together for maybe about a week and a half, which is nice because now I have the place to myself again. Upcoming events for week 3. I am going to the Mushers banquet on Monday night, which is tomorrow night, where the mushers come up and they tell stories about the race and what went on, and there's food and everything, so I'm excited for that. Other things this week, I'm presenting my drug monograph to the P&T committee, and I've never presented to a P&T committee before, so that should be an interesting experience as well. I'm really looking forward to the next few weeks here, and the Medivac guys are great. I already feel close to them when they came over for dinner, and they were telling me about what they do on their time off, and they're just amazing. Life in Bethel is definitely getting more exciting, and I'm liking it more and more.